The mysterious case of an abandoned house. Crime fighter Elad arrives with little warning of the horrors ahead. Some signs of serious neglect are obvious from the outside. An old van is blocking the driveway, and Elad doesn't have the keys for it.
Wow, this is a mess. Can't believe somebody's actually living a bike in here. And that, wow, that is a messy place. We've been asked basically to clean this property up, and we need to find any kind of documents that could be of any value to the family. The way this looks, this is going to take us quite a while.
An old man used to live here, and he's not exactly made a graceful exit.
You can see that there's been some rodents around here, and it smells like it as well. So I wouldn't be cooking my dinner here. Let's see what's waiting for us upstairs.
And the sight of the bedroom is hardly encouraging.
Trying to imagine somebody living in this kind of environment, that really, really shocks you. And again, I couldn't imagine how somebody can get to this stage, but I guess that's reality. Here you can see the rats chewed on everything here. The rats have been chewing their way into the sofa. I don't know if there's one even still in there. They've kind of been having a rat party here. There's quite a big mess. If I was around, I would love to kind of stay in this kind of place. So.
Elad's task is to clear up the house and to find some personal documents left by the old man.
It's going to take us quite a while to go through all the documents and find what we really need. If they are here and haven't been eaten by the rats yet, then we'll definitely hand them over.
Elad has only been doing this job for a matter of weeks, and he's shocked by what he sees.
This is kind of the worst I've seen, and it is looking like a lot bigger job than what we expected. But we like the challenge, and that's what the boys like to do, so the dirtier the better. Right, guys, well, we got a nice little job on our hands. The place is a right mess. We have to clear everything out. While doing that, we need to find any relevant documents that might be of interest for the family. And you got some friends, some rats waiting for you inside. Right. Okay. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy that.
Yeah, no
okay,
worries.
Guys.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, guys.
It's the start of what looks like being a long day. Across the UK, local authorities remove over 25 million tonnes of litter and waste from our streets every year. A lot of it is our fault. Millions of cigarette butts end up in the gutter. In Preston, Enforcement Officer Paul Cookson and his team want everyone to know that they've got their eagle eye on them.
The general thing that we're going to do today is trying to shame people in public, basically, by shouting at them, reminding them that littering is an offence.
Could the man in the brown jacket please pick up your cigarette end, please? Could the gentleman who just dropped his coffee cup pick it up, please? It's against the law to drop litter. There's a £75 fine.
And you'd have thought once bitten, twice shy. But not for some people.
It's absolutely incredible, because we were here for a few hours yesterday and there were people right in front of us who'd heard everything happening. They knew what we were doing and they still dropped cigarettes and cups and down. He'll probably just...
If they do respond to the tannoy and they pick the waste up and put it in the bin, all well and good. If not, then myself or one of the other officers who deployed in the area will go and have a face-to-face confrontation with them. It may be that we might have to resort to issuing some fixed penalty tickets. Can you make sure that you pick it up? Thank you very much. Now, I'll just give you a clue. There's a litter bin over there.
And the rough treatment seems to work.
Thank you very much for your assistance. Just be aware in future, OK?
You're in the army now. Well, I'm not.
Girl it redder. Girl it redder.
Lady with the red hair, please pick up your cigarette end. It's against the law to drop litter.
Hello.
Okay. It's pink, not red.
That's OK. We're just asking people not to drop litter in the Preston City Centre area. It's inappropriate.
If you don't drop rubbish, the cleaners won't have a job.
Yeah, well, that's a silly argument, but I can make it simpler for you. If you drop a cigarette butt, I have to fine you £75.
Could the man in the black jacket please pick up your cigarette end, please?
The gentleman from China come to see his daughter graduate. I don't think his English language was that perfect, but he's got the message and he now understands.
The tough tactics have paid off. But what about our free society? Oh, it's still here. Back in Reading, extreme cleaners Matt and Bertram are about to find out what their boss has let them in for.
Oh well, it looks so
yeah, it is.
What's that now, boy?
The smell of rats and all that, and it smells of urine, and it does actually stink.
And where there's smoke, there's fire.
I've just seen a rat as well, so there is rats in here.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big rat. That's a big rat, man. That's a big rat.
They're leaving a sinking ship.
Wow. This looks bad up here, guys.
That's when you find your
Look,
unsavoury.
I've just moved the blanket, and there's absolutely loads of droppings everywhere.
Take a look at this fridge. This fridge is really, really mucky.
At least we've got biscuits to have with our tea later, boys.
See this?
Oh, that's good.
Just one thing after another.
Letters in the fridge.
Yeah.
But at least you get variety in this job.
There's the key, actually.
That's for
Right,
that
so
van.
what we'll do, we'll see if
That's the key to the van outside.
Shall we go and have a look?
The joy of discovery.
Oh yeah, baby.
The van won't start, but it can be shifted.
Because it's the only one exit, there's loads of stuff what we can get out from here now due to us moving the van.
The big boys arrive. And with a heave and a hoe, the van is soon on the move. With the drive unblocked, it's full steam ahead. The clear-out should now be straightforward. But what about those personal documents?
I'm just looking through the paperwork to see if there's any important papers.
We have to go through it very step by step because this is important documents we are searching for. It will take a bit more time because we don't know where these documents lie.
It's a painstaking process.
Okay. So as you can see, there's loads of paperwork here. We've got to try and sort it out.
But lucky Bertram finds the treasure.
This is what we are looking for. Oh. Rob, I think we'll find what we're looking for here.
For grime fighters, house clearing can be a bit of a drag. Later, we'll see how they got on. In Dagenham, one of the stars of this series is ready for another leading role.
You like that sound, don't you?
Cue Pete, the pest controller. He's on an emergency call, but Pete knows the trouble has been brewing here for quite a while.
You'll find when you do the cockroaches, and they're in big infestations, they want to run all over you. I don't particularly want to take them home. And it's easier to see them on a white suit than it is on my black trousers.
If Pete is preparing so carefully, this must be a tough job.
Right, that's all charged up. Right, pest control.
Yeah. It's really bad. She's got it in the passage, in the her bedroom, in the kitchen.
Rose looks after her great aunt who lives in the flat in very disturbing conditions.
She gets them in her cupboards, yeah.
Yep.
See? In the cupboards, that's why we don't borrow a lot of food, we do it bit by bit.
How long's this been going on for, do you know?
Oh, it's got to be going on for a few years.
Really?
When we make her up sandwiches, as soon as you put the stuff on the table and you start doing the sandwiches, they must smell it and they start coming. Because one time, the other week, my boyfriend had to hold a plate and I had to do the sandwich on the plate while I was holding it because all this was full of it.
Really?
Pete knows the enemy. It's not just a problem, it's an infestation.
Seem to be a lot on the door frames all the time at the top, sitting up there.
My aunt lives on her own. A lot of people don't like coming round to visit her because they're scared of taking it home, and she gets upset because she don't see no one.
Yeah, there they are. Look at this little lot.
They mostly crawl on her clothes and she don't even, you're sitting there watching and she don't even know they're crawling on there. So it is very horrible and hygienic for her.
On the walls at the back here, coming out the holes. Every crevice, like on the side here, they're just there. You cannot foul by not seeing them. It's like everywhere you look, they're going to be nymphs or adults running around.
As you'd expect, Pete the pest controller is fully up to the task.
We've got a lot of work to do here. Hopefully, we can pull it all off and get it all sorted for the lady.
Coming up, it's thirsty work for our rubbish removal men.
Hey, let's have our cup of tea, lads, yeah? We've not had a brew this morning.
The battle over the beetles gets serious.
Let's do some devastation.
And in Reading, it's time for tally-ho.
Whoa.
Throughout the country, an army of professionals are continuing to dedicate their daily lives to waging war on the nation's grime. In Reading, our team have found the important documents belonging to the previous tenant, but they still need to clear all the rooms in the derelict house.
Oh, I was going to use that bag, maybe I won't.
Why?
Because the rats have been eating it. As you can see, 3 holes in it.
What is this one? The rat have eaten it all out. No butter. It's no good no more.
We'll come across a rat in a minute, you watch.
Matt decides to go on the offensive.
I'll show you where the rats are going to be. Because they like warm places, dark. Yeah, they're in the corner, in the cupboards, they're in the speakers.
Even some of the toughest grime fighters have their qualms.
I hate rats. I mean, I hate rats. I'm absolutely petrified of them. I mean, you know, but you've got to get the job done.
This rat is probably about the broom size, bottom of the broom.
Are you sure of that, Bertram?
They're massive.
Hang on, it's going to escape.
Whoa.
It has.
But yeah, there's a rat in here.
That's enough of a diversion. Back to work. You may have noticed there's something of the show business in Matt.
I didn't turn that on. Did you turn that on? Wow, that was a bit scary.
It turns out Matt used to work at the London dungeons.
I was an entertainments coordinator and I used to dress up and scare people. I'd actually stand there and not move and then scare them. And yeah, it was great. So this is not too far, because basically this scares me because you don't know what's going to be round the corner. Hello.
But the show mustn't go on. There's no business like the grime business.
The foreman said we've got 10 minutes and then we've got to be out of here.
And the best call of the day, job's done.
It looks a lot better now. It's nice to get a place and at the end of it, see it nice and clean, ready for somebody else. And I'm quite proud of it actually. So I do need a cup of tea.
Yeah, it was nice. An experience, it really was. So I'll see you soon.
That's a wrap.
In Stockport, rubbish removals man Mike Burgess has been called out to clear what's described as a small amount of rubbish. It's the first job of the day, and as usual, Mike is punctual. But something has gone wrong.
Oh, we're at the right house.
Right day, right hour,
Hello, sir, are you number 20?
but wrong place.
Right, mount up, mount up, mount up. We're in the wrong house. Right, let's go.
Never mind, Mike. At least you were on time.
It's typical when I'm driving the van, we always get lost. Hi, Sarah and Mr. Chief.
Hiya.
You all right?
Hiya.
Yeah. Is this it? Or no. All right, okay.
That's just the taster.
All right. Bloody hell, there is a lot.
A little bit more than I expected.
The trouble with skips is they're never big enough.
You only told us it was a mini skip.
Money. It always comes down to money.
I know what I quoted you, Sarah, on the phone, but until I've physically seen it, there is a lot here. I don't think we're going to get all this in one go.
But the homeowner takes it on the chin.
My in-laws are over from Norway tomorrow, so hence big stress to try and actually get it all removed.
With the pressure mounting, Mike needs to take an executive decision. So what's the plan?
Right, how about a cup of rosy leaf for the boys? It's a nice cold morning, nice cup of rosy leaf. Gets us all motivated. Right, let's have our cup of tea, lads, yeah? We've not had a brew this morning.
Cheers, it's a good health.
But now it's back to the hard grime. Mike knows how to manage a good team and is always there to offer helpful advice.
Keep your back straight, bend your knees, that's it. That's it, nice and slow. Right at the back. Watch my sandwiches.
It's a long-distance race. Just when you're ready to pack it in, you've got to keep going.
We've got a lot of rubble and brick. We're going to struggle getting that lot on. Yeah, I'll have to have a word with her about this. There's a lot involved here.
And the extra weight means, yes, we're back to money, money, money. Back in Dagenham, with the elderly tenants safely out of the way, Pest Controller Pete completes his assessment. One big one would be bad enough, but they're everywhere.
It's a big job, there's no two ways about it. They're crawling all over us as we're standing here. Look, even on the plates, look. It's just unbelievable, ain't it? They just walk out and walk in. There's so many. I mean, I've got my bag out there. They're all on my bag at the moment. They're up the walls out here. They're just everywhere.
With their days numbered, they're getting friskier.
Species we've got here is the German cockroach, which are quite common, really.
Pete decides to have no mercy.
I know it's a bit time consuming, but at the end of the day, you know, you've got them, ain't you?
He's taking no prisoners, and there's no great escape. Now Pete gets personal.
We'll pull the fridge out and the freezer, and whatever runs, I can spray and get them straight away. This is all the faeces, this is all the faeces samples from them. It's unbelievable, ain't it?
But the game's not over.
Right.
Time to bring out the big guns.
Let's do some devastation.
Pete will fight them in the kitchen. He'll fight them behind the freezer. He will never surrender. Well done, Pete. But the blighters may still be resisting in hiding.
Just doing the backup now with the gel, which I know works pretty well.
Pete lays a couple of traps. He'll be back in 2 weeks to declare victory.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Right, bye.
Not quite a perfect day, but good enough.
I'll tell you what, that's one of the worst jobs I've ever come across for a long time. I don't want to see any more of them, that's for sure.
Back in Stockport, it's been a slow start for Mike and his team. They've cleared most of the rubbish, only to come up against a pile of concrete. The homeowner has already agreed a second quote. Mike now has to suggest a third.
What I didn't realise, you know, because it was all covered up, is what's involved there. Now, there's a lot of weight there,
Right.
and we do actually pay on weight. It's probably going to be another 100 quid.
Okay.
Is that
No
okay?
worries, yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay with
Yeah,
that?
no, absolutely.
All right, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Sarah.
Cool. Do you need anything from me?
No, you're all right.
Okay.
We're just going to carry
Brilliant.
on.
Well, that wasn't too difficult. It must be the way Mike does it.
My name's not even...
It gets confusing, this job, all the different people you meet.
What's your real name?
Helen.
I have an old saying, I'm strong in thought, weak in head. Name's wrong, price is wrong. What else did we get wrong today? We got the address wrong. All right then,
Okay.
Sarah. No, it's Ellen. Got it wrong again, haven't I? Right, let's mount up, boys, with a 5th emergency service.
Yeah, Mike. Well, it's all the same, isn't it, Mark? I mean, Mike.
Right, go. See? These are the lads that organise it all here. What's your name? Alan. Alan's been here a long time. Alan, yeah. Tom and Alan.
Oh, Mike.
Look at it, what a mess. But it's all eventually gets sorted and it all ends up getting recycled. Right, let's get going. Alan.
No, Callum.
Take care.
Since the filming of the programme, the house in Reading has been thoroughly cleaned and is now ready to be sold. The old lady's flat has been given the all clear, and Mike Burgess has invested in a sat-nav, but it doesn't help him with those names.
All right then, Mary, we'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
A new recruit, Craig, is being shown the ropes by Kevin. They've been sent to clear a house abandoned by the tenant. So you see, Craig, it's all a bit of a doddle.
Yeah, it don't look too bad anyway, does it? No. Not in here anyway. Look at it.
This should be fairly easy.
Yeah, it don't look too bad. Might be in for an easy day.
That looks like a dark hand pointing upstairs. It's not a good sign.
Oh, the smell.
Smell already.
And the lad's mood quickly changes.
Oh, you basket. Ooh. This one takes a biscuit.
Even Kevin is taken aback.
I can't. I'm going to be... It's bad.
That's bad.
That's human waste in there.
Oh, need some of it.
That one is bad. I won't be eating no biscuits after this job.
No.
I won't be eating for the next 2 days. You can do the toilet, Craig, I'll do the bath.
Yeah, right.
Get some fresh air. The smell's rife, it really is. And then it's the thought of actually doing the job. But that's what we get paid for. So, we'll get into it, get stuck in, it'll be gleaming by the time we've done. Gleaming.
That's good. Being positive, it shouldn't take too long.
Fill the bath up with bleach, fill the toilet up with the bleach, give it a good rodding, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll go down.
So, Craig, how was it on your first day?
Oh, it smells terrible, doesn't it?
No. Oh. If I haven't got any more to else, I'm going to cry.
I lie.
Oh, God. All right, kit up.
This is a job which may take some getting used to. In Stockport, rubbish removal expert Mike Burgess is enjoying the sunshine. He's also got a young and fit recruit, Liam. And Mike is hoping for an easy day.
Let's get these bins off.
Just a bit of rubbish clearing. Oh, and there is something else.
Right, well today we're seeing a couple of our old friends again, the ratty. The ladies complain that a few of these long-tailers have been seen going across the back garden, and she's scared of going in the back garden now. Oh, I forgot to tell him about Mr. Ratty. He wouldn't have come in this morning otherwise. Well, on the face of it, it doesn't look too bad, but obviously, once we start digging through this, you don't know what we're going to uncover.
Unfortunately, this could be more than just a pile of rubbish.
I think I can smell human Oh, you stood in it, or I have. It's there, isn't it? It's dog It's that little dog in the house.
Liam shows a good spirit.
Come on, Mr. Ratty, where are you? There's Mr. Ratty.
Mike explains what's happened to his usual mate, Alex.
Yeah. Normally, we have Alex with us, and Alex been playing football and had a knee gone into his chest. So he's bruised his ribs in his chest, so I'm back on the tools, and Alex is taking my role in the office. So he's answering the phone and sorting out what jobs we're doing, and hopefully he's pricing them correctly. Right, come on, mate.
Does Mike mind the job swap? No, he wants to show Liam how experience in this work really does pay off. Alex is missing the action.
You probably have a couple of problem phone calls, but I'm sure he'll be able to handle it well enough.
This is harder than Mike expected.
Looks like it's going to be a nightmare, this job.
Garden rubbish is one thing, a load of old rubble quite another.
There seems to be a lot of bricks on this job. You're making this harder, this job. Just slide a few into next door.
Liam has to learn that grime fighters simply can't afford to give up.
I thought it was an average job, but it's turned out it's becoming a bit more of an average job. It's becoming a nightmare job.
And will Alex in the office be pining to be back on the road? Don't hold your breath. In Wolverhampton, food hygiene inspectors Johnny and Faye are making a surprise visit to a restaurant.
Hi there. Okay.
You're
We're here today to just do a routine food hygiene inspection.
This kitchen has been inspected before, but Faye is not convinced that improvements have been made.
I mean, the floor is not in the greatest this bit.
and
so
it's just allowing all the dirt to accumulate in the grease. It's not good.
How often, you know, like underneath here, it's like very greasy. When was this floor last? When would you have last done it?
I think that's 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. So that's not enough, is it? That's not frequently enough. Because all of that there, like all the grease and the food debris and that provides a source of food.
I mean, that's just ground in.
We'll have to come back in a week.
Everything I can see is dirty.
It is dirty, I know.
The hygiene team are in no doubt. This will not do.
The difficulty we've got is you've had a number of warnings now and the premises still isn't clean. It's not at the standard we would expect in a food business. The wall surfaces are just, I mean,
Isn't it?
yeah, everything's sticky and dirty. Why hasn't cleaning improved? Yeah, it's because you're all family members. Yeah. You know, you've been told year after year after year and you still haven't done it. So we are coming back in a week, and if that means you have to stay here, you know, day and night, get it to an acceptable standard.
Johnny has laid down the law, but now they need to collect the evidence.
Say again. We'll be happy once the cleaning's improved. Okay.
Where livelihoods are involved, it's tricky. The customer's health must always come first.
You just, hope that they take your advice on board and improve the situation. If they don't, unfortunately, we will take enforcement action.
In Leicester, rookie Craig is facing a tough initiation task. This time they know what to expect, and it's horrible.
Craig's first week, so it's his first dirty job. Here we go.
The only consolation is that it doesn't get very much worse than this.
I drew the short straw on this job. Definitely. No, I do feel sorry for him though, but hey ho. Somebody's had a go at cleaning this out.
Tried to use that for that.
Even grime-fighting veterans like Kevin sometimes feel it's all too much.
I'm gonna spew.
What? I feel bad about it.
I'm gonna go.
If only machines did it all.
That's the wet and dry. You can use it obviously to suck wet stuff up and dry, and today, by the looks of it, it's a bit of both in there, so here we go.
And if only machines didn't sometimes make the problem worse.
The stench has got twice as bad. It really has. It is really evil.
The toilet's going down though, isn't it? Also, as you're sucking it out of there, the water's going down, so you might be able to clear it out through the bath.
And even when the machine has worked, there's still a problem.
Tackle that. No. Ah, that's full. Craig?
Yeah?
This machine needs emptying now.
Yeah, where though? You can't even get in the back.
It's your job to empty it.
Where are we going to empty it though? 'Cause you can't get through the back door.
Yeah, no, we can't. We'll sort it.
It's at times like these that grime fighters have to take a break.
You're going to have a bite to eat now, have us breakfast. Yeah, have a minute's break and then get back in and tackle it again.
Craig doesn't admit to doubts about his new job.
Oh.
Kevin does it for him.
Made me feel ill then.
Oh, it smells horrendous.
We're not paid enough to do this. It does make us... No, it does make you wonder why. It does. But then it's a job at the end of the day. I do enjoy the job, just not this side of it. But somebody's got to do it, so...
Someone in the office might explain how they get rid of the waste.
Any suggestions? Yeah. Yeah, all right, yeah, okay. Right, we've got to take it and get rid of it.
That's the trouble with 50 litres of sewage. Nobody wants it. Coming up...
How does that look?
Mike switches to garden design.
You know, a couple of gnomes, you know, maybe a water feature. You know, you've got to design a garden.
In Preston, we come to terms with the dark side of life.
The majority of these bags are rancid.
And Kevin and Craig show us what they're made of.
That's evil.
Throughout the country, an army of professionals are continuing to dedicate their daily lives to waging war on the nation's grime. In a Stockport garden, Mike and Liam are digging back through the generations.
Kids bike it.
They're seeing how people lived in the past. And you know what? Archaeology isn't always very interesting. An excuse, surely, to stop digging.
That's the root of the tree, so it's as far as we can go.
It's all soil for the tree. We're taking away the soil from the tree here.
Do you know what I think we might try and do with
clear
this?
around it and then
Let's
leave that.
clear around it.
Yes, if you're in a hole, stop digging.
Obviously we're very green and we have a concern about looking after the environment and trees.
Surely all of us should think about the environment.
What I'm going to suggest to the lady is we're going to try and make a bit of a feature so that the job doesn't get too over big. I don't think there's anything rats in there now. We've been through it, but we're going to get it all neat and tidied up, because otherwise we're going to end up even with a bigger problem with the, you know, the tree and the roots. It'll look, try and make a bit of a feature out of it, you know, so it looks, no, you know, it'll only take a bit, you know, maybe a couple of bags of, you know, that shale stone or something like that, or a box of grass seed for £3, and it'll look like a nice. No, it'll look better, and nothing will be able to hide round there.
Move over Alan Titchmarsh. Mike's our gardening man.
You know, you could end up with a little hill, you know, a couple of gnomes, you know, maybe a water feature. You know, you've got to design a garden.
The thing about Mike is that he's so sensitive.
I've got an eye for this. It's just make it look a little bit better.
At least he seems to have convinced himself.
Right. On a job like this, where do you stop?
Garden designers need to have a vision.
How does that look? Are we getting there? I think we're getting there with that, aren't we?
It's all about Mother Nature.
Right, well, gonna bring the lady out to have a look at it. To be fair with you, it's nice having that tree there, and it keeps it a bit private, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's okay.
yeah?
Yeah, for what you've had to do, yeah.
Yeah, we've done it. We've really got stuck in on that. Right, well, we're gonna go. Right.
Mike's done the job and saved a tree. What more could you ask? In Preston, some people haven't got the hang of putting out the rubbish properly. Now it all has to be cleared. Meet Preston's finest, Paul. Today, he's joined by Mark.
We're here to try and see if there's any evidence in the bags that we can use to go and speak to the residents to find out why they're abusing the area.
The problem is that there's not an easy way to get into the alley.
You're struggling there, Paul, what, mate?
It caused a little bit of a problem. Back in a second.
But there has to be a way in from the other side.
No, it won't shift. It's well jammed. Fortunately, the alley's got 2 gates, so we'll gain access from the other one. Hey ho, these things are sent to try you.
Mark has to bring a big container all the way round. It's taking some time and it's hard work. He's not entirely happy. So what's Paul been up to?
It always seems to be me dragging skips and you stood.
I've got a slight confession which might not go down too well, but being persistent, I managed to open the gate.
You didn't rush to stop me, did you? No, you didn't, did you?
You needed the exercise anyway.
This rubbish has been dumped illegally, but now has to be checked for evidence.
The contents of some of these bags is disgusting. A lot of it's rotting.
Judging from the state of that's absolutely rotten and stinks to high heaven. The majority of these bags are rancid. They've obviously been sat in somebody's backyard for months. People are quite happy to live like this.
We seem to spend a lot of time up to our elbows.
The trouble is the trail has gone cold. It's not going to be easy.
The thing that really annoys me, this bag contains boxes, cardboard, plastic. 99% of what's in this bag could be recycled.
The residents are just too lazy to separate that out from the waste and present it properly. And it's cost the public a lot of money to throw that away.
Paul and Mark are determined to find out who is responsible. The culprits should be punished.
You can tell a lot about people's lifestyles just by looking through the rubbish. Particular guy that obviously is responsible for this has lived his life on lager and takeaways.
The clues mount up, but has the case been solved?
We have an address.
At last, they could have a lead.
It's a local resident. I guarantee somebody will try and convince us that this has been brought in by a fly tipper in a van. But there's the proof. There's the address.
Fortunately, the suspect is very local.
Hello. From the council, we're doing a clearance of this alley. Yeah. Just been looking through one of these bags on the pile here. Your address, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Well, that's not all my rubbish at all.
No, but one bag is. Can you explain why that's there? I don't want to see this here again. All right.
A ticking off this time, but a clear warning that dumping rubbish is not allowed. In Leicester, Kevin and his new recruit Craig have emptied the vacuum cleaner and are ready to start again.
Is it full of water?
Just going to fill back up. Oh, that's going to flood. There we go again.
It's going down, like it's unblocking it.
It's unblocking it into the back. That's evil. Right, get the sucker on again.
Craig is beginning to realise how tough this job can be. They're not called extreme cleaners for nothing.
Right, the odd task now, cleaning it. Don't want to be here doing this. Definitely drew the short straw on this one today. Oh man, definitely need a few quid more.
Craig is learning how team spirit helps. They're in this together. But even when this stage is over, a lot of work remains.
The builders come in and rip the lot out. So this job just seems completely a waste of time. But never mind. Oh, it smells getting worse. The more you're disturbing it, the worse it's becoming.
It's been a rude awakening for Craig.
At least he's not been sick yet. That's the main thing.
Yet.
Yeah, he's doing really well. It's not the sort of thing you want on your first week. Smelling a bit fresher now, anyway.
Yes.
There's still the mark of the big black hand downstairs.
Right then, mate, because you're taller than me, you can reach up there, can't you?
It's just one of those days. Will it ever end?
This is the worst I've ever seen. I wasn't expecting this.
Craig is left to his own devices while Kevin finishes off the bathroom.
Hell of a lot cleaner. Smells fresher anyway, that's the main thing.
They've given the builders who come in next a much easier task.
That's dry now. I think that's about it then. Yeah.
As Craig works on, Kevin reflects. Even with his experience, this house has got him down.
I just know if it were a member of my family, you know, you'd step in, you'd never let it get to that state, so...
But when the hard work is completed, there's satisfaction.
Gleaming. I'm happy with that.
The marathon is over, and thanks to two determined grime fighters, victory is theirs. For Kevin and Craig, it's definitely time for a shower and a rest. Professional grime fighters always try to look on the bright side, particularly at the start of the day. Nick, Andy and Gavin arrive at an empty house in Ipswich. Their task? Well, they don't know.
You just don't know what to expect, do you? You don't know what's in there, the smell, so if we can do is just open that front door and check it out and have a butcher's.
The situation as we go in.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a bit of a smell, but we don't know until we get in there.
Not much in here, is there?
An old man used to live here, and here he died.
Let's get one of these windows open. There's a bit of must in here.
The ground floor rooms don't seem to be too bad. But the lads know it's going to get worse. When the ceiling's down, that often means trouble.
Well, I reckon that's where the bath is.
Yeah.
This is a voyage of discovery they won't enjoy.
Smell a bit up there.
This bath is going to be dreadful.
There we go. Look at that.
They're not called extreme cleaners for nothing.
Oh, that is repulsive. That's the worst smell I've ever done when I've done a house clearance. That's terrible.
At this stage, Nick takes the lead.
Yeah, this room's alright. Just needs clearing up.
But when it comes to the tough bit, is Nick really up for it?
Who's going to do the bathroom? Because I don't think I need a suit on just for this, but I mean, I think the person who's going to be doing the bathroom has to wear.
Volunteers, don't all rush at once. This could take some time. In Blackpool, we're back with some of our old friends and their old jokes. Steve and his son, Steve, are in a forgiving mood.
We've been called out to this job. She's complained of a bad smell. I've asked her if she's been to see the doctor, and obviously that's not the case. She's got a blocked drain.
A blocked drain? Well, that couldn't be easier.
Oh, yeah. Full of tree roots. What we're going to have to do is jet it through. Steve, let's put the high-performance jet on, mate.
High-pressure jets can have a life of their own.
Oh, look at that. Get in! I need to get some overalls, seriously. Just not happy with all this washing, Bill. Pull it out a little bit more. Bit more. Pull it out. That's... Hold on. What's up with you?
But the job's done. The sweet smell of success.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
What was the problem? Wet wipes.
Look at that. Oh, go away, go away.
Grab that one then.
Stop.
An old problem, but now a brand new solution.
We're going to get the camera out now, get my big baby out.
Steve's baby is a camera. But what's he going to do? Make a movie?
Right, this is the camera. This is what we insert into the drains.
And the big-time director?
I do the camera work. He's too thick. He just supervises, really.
Excuse me, but I employ you, don't I? I pay his wages. I think he's forgot to tell you that. Have you?
No. Through, slowly.
Young Steve does the work. Old Steve takes the credit?
I'm not the most educated person in the world. That's why I rely on him a little bit, but I never tell him that, so he gets a little bit too big for his boots.
Just inspecting the joints in the drain as we go along, see if there's any damage to the drains, which is causing it to block up in the first place. There's a bit of grease that is building up.
And when we turn up to see the customer and give them the DVD, I said, there's your dirty DVD. It's a great line. Gets a laugh every time. As quick as you can, but next one.
Steve, generous to a fault, lets his son Steve take the glory.
One pat on the back.
One pat on the back?
Just one pat on the back.
Another good job, Stevie.
Back in Ipswich, after due consideration, it's decided that the youngest, the most inexperienced member of the team will have to do the dirty work.
Neutralise it, sanitise it, and just leave it.
For young Gavin, it's a chance to earn his spurs.
Don't be someone this for a start. Get rid of this pong because it really does hum.
We'll leave it to the experts upstairs.
Good luck to him. I know what it's like because I've done it before.
At the moment, I'm just spraying out the table this neutralise stuff just to get rid of the pong. I let that soak in. Either myself, Nick, or Andy will come once the neutralise is kicked in and give it a good scrub down, good clean.
Well, it's all congealed, right, and it's probably a bit hard and that, so by sanitising it, it will make it much more easier to clean up and wipe down and that.
I mean, that is some rotten bath. That is going to take a lot of scraping.
Nick and Andy are thankful not to have drawn the short straw.
This is probably one of the cleanest kitchens I've seen in the house clearance. A lot of these places you get a lot of people who hoard and hoard and hoard. Sometimes you can't even get them through the door. I don't think he was a dirty person himself, you know what I mean?
Throwing away personal possessions is part of the job, but Andy is aware of a life that's lost.
Every life has a story, and I say, as a man on his own in his 70s, I've just thrown one of his birthday cards away. Yeah, sometimes it's upsetting, you know. Never mind.
But a grime fighter can't dwell on personal feelings.
You feel a bit bad that you're throwing all their life possessions away, but yeah, on the other hand, you know, you're here to do a job, you know, and you're just going to get on with it, like, you know.
It doesn't take long to finish the job, but that still leaves the final stage of cleaning the bath. London's West End is a congestion zone, not only on the streets, but below them too. These Victorian sewers weren't designed to handle the tons of food fats that come from the capital's hundreds of restaurants. These drains need a bit of attention. Meet Danny, Thames Water's sewer inspector.
The bulk of the problem we've got is actually right in the middle of Leicester Square. You've got Chinatown just to the north here, so all the sewage runs down, mixed with the fat and everything else that's put into the sewers.
Specially dressed and specially equipped. The crew have a remote-controlled cutter to help them remove encrusted fat.
We've got high-pressure jetting units, they've got a chain jet on them as well. Basically, it's basically like a small tunnel boring machine.
And the crew also have a highly efficient camera.
We send intrinsically safe, which is explosion-proof rig, up the sewer. It's a CCTV unit, so we can get back live pictures.
Live sewer vision? Sounds like a whole new TV show. Lights, camera, and action. Some of our grime fighters are getting used to the limelight.
Ever since
John Sargent started calling me Perky Paul, they follow me around all over the place. I can't go anywhere these days.
And isn't it typical? Does the director dirty his hands? Oh no. Dave Jordan is the surveyor overseeing the removal of the fat.
It's been jetted quite a few times, and I think even Thames were surprised last night when we got up to the point where there's nearly 90% of fat still in the line.
The fat has built up into a thick, hard layer that coats the sewer walls. At this point, it's almost completely blocked the tunnel. There's barely enough room for the water to flow. Before long, the whole sewer could be blocked.
15 years of surveying and I haven't seen anything like that before in my life.
All that's been bored out there, isn't it? Because it was a flat wall last night, wasn't it? So.
The scale of the problem is emerging. Removing this amount of hardened fat is going to be very difficult.
Lumps like this will come back and we'll smash them against the wall and couldn't break them. It's solid, mate.
The problem has been caught just in time, but it'll take all night to make much of a difference. Coming up, it's bath time at last.
And this is why I got a job on the council.
Beneath the streets of London, the sewers have to lose weight.
All the white here is just fat.
And in Notting Hill, the carnival is over, but the real work is just beginning.
Oh, it's like walking into the set of some nightmarish film.
Throughout the country, an army of professionals are continuing to dedicate their daily lives to waging war on the nation's grime. In Ipswich, the team has decided they should all be in this together. Nick and Andy have offered to give Gavin a hand. They're going to help clean the bath. If only their masks were more effective.
I've just disturbed it and it stinks.
Would you like some sanitizer, Nick?
Perhaps a dash of disinfectant will do the trick.
The stench has got worse. 1,000 times worse.
But now there's another problem.
The water's not draining out, so there's no way for all that gunge to go. You know, it's coming off easy, it's just not draining away, that's the problem.
At last, there's a chance for Gavin to score.
And this is why I got a job on the council. Brains of Britain, mate.
Well, go ahead, mate. Well, it is draining, isn't it?
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
I'll leave you to it, mate.
Isn't that nice of Nick to allow Gavin to take the applause? As with all these cleaning jobs, get the method right and it's all plain sailing.
And that is why they employ people like me. 100% guaranteed.
Gavin pats himself on the back.
The Musketeer returns. One job completed.
Medal.
Andy likes the idea he looks like a famous comedian.
Do you think I look like Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, it's just another version.
Yeah, I think he's a bit fatter than me though, isn't he?
You want his money though, don't you?
I like his money, yeah. He earns more than me an hour.
When the day started, our team were determined to be cheerful, and that's now a mood they can return to. It doesn't take long for them to finish cleaning the house. It will be refurbished and re-let.
Looks all right, lads, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lads can afford to relax. The annual Notting Hill Carnival in West London is the biggest of its kind in Europe. It attracts nearly 2 million visitors over 2 days and a total revenue of about £90 million. But once the revelry is over, the hard work begins. There's a long night ahead for Mitch, the head of the clean-up operation.
Are we all resourced up for tonight?
Yeah, we're fully resourced. All the RCVs, as you see, are waiting to go.
It's midnight, and these streets have to be cleaned by the morning. Mitch has a large team of grime fighters, but before they can get started, he has to make a recce.
Right now, what we're doing is making an assessment of the area. Oh, it's like walking into some kind of music video or set of some nightmarish film. I cannot believe the state of this place. Everything in this area has got graffiti. The boards, the hoardings, the temporary toilets, the telephone box. It's not just the sight of it, the smell as well is horrendous.
The scene could hardly be more depressing, but Mitch is undaunted. He understands that many of the problems are inevitable.
This is the hot spot. If you want food at the carnival, this is where you come. I've boogied on down here, had a few corn on the cobs over my time down here. And as we can see, we've got some stalls that are shutting up. We really need to get these all off the street, packed up, before we can even begin to start to clean this area. Hiya guys. Hiya, can I just get the state of play with this barbecue here? You're going to extinguish this, yeah? Yeah, if we could do that, because as you can see, we've got the dust carts already in here.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
As with any big party, there are so many leftovers.
Realistically, when you've got more than 1 million people to serve potentially, things can get a bit chaotic, and as you can see, there's a lot of produce here that hasn't been used. There's a lot of waste here, which is unfortunate. It is possibly the hardest place to clean because there's going to be not just waste underneath here, there's going to be a lot of grease. It's like an ice rink around here, and we don't want anyone strolling on this tomorrow or later on tonight even. The last of the stragglers, all off home, and that's what we want. All the fun and games of the carnival, eh?
While some party on, Mitch takes a sober view about what happens next.
In under 4 hours, this is all going to be cleared and gone.
In Leicester Square, the team are watching television. Far below, it's like being at a coalface.
It's the size of that lump on there. It's like concrete. Yeah, look. Yeah. 1 lump or 2 with that tea. Using the chain car, they've got some pretty big lumps of fat that they've managed to cut up and break off of the main blockage.
Another London drain has also been clogged with food fats. There's no other way but to clear this by hand.
There's a bit of a mess in here. Here we are. This looks like some fat and stuff that's obviously surcharged up. There's lots more of it down there. As you can see, all the white here is just fat. It's all over your gloves, it makes everything slippery. We'll just work our way down the stairs here, loosening up all the material that's in, and then we'll come back later on and wash it all out.
If only people would realise that cold fat is solid fat.
It's just an abuse, really, of the sewer system that we've got. This is what the 21st century is doing to it. You know, we're clogging the arteries with fat, the same as we are with our 24-hour takeaway lifestyles, I suppose. It's hard to estimate, really, what the damage would be if the cleaning was left and wasn't done.
Well, look at that. Clean as a whistle. In Leicester Square, the lads emerge from the centre of the earth. The fat cutter has done its work, but the sewer hasn't been cleared completely.
It's cutting away, it's doing its job, so basically now it's just perseverance until we get through it and the sewer's running again.
The team will be back. In Notting Hill, in the small hours of the morning, the grime-fighting team are preparing for a major assault. The carnival is well and truly over, and hundreds of tons of rubbish will have to be removed before dawn.
Well, this is an excellent sign. The barriers are all coming up. It means that we can get the crews in, mobilise and sweeping up all the waste.
It's going to be a huge team effort.
In an event of this magnitude, absolutely everyone's got to get stuck in. I can improve on their technique. You watch.
Mitch has a team of helpers drawn from many parts of the council.
You've got really hard-working, dedicated cleansing and waste operatives, but also you've got a lot of office staff here, accountants, business analysts, a load of managers. Everyone's getting stuck in.
Mitch is feeling competitive. He wants to beat his own record for clearing up after the carnival.
This is the old boundary with neighbours and fellow hosts of the Notting Hill Carnival, Kensington and Chelsea. This side is ours, that side is theirs. Yeah, if they want to pay us, we'll clean theirs as well, but I think they're going to do a good enough job.
So it's the Borough of Westminster versus Kensington and Chelsea Borough. May the best council win.
But there's no real competition, is there? They've missed a bit here. I'm sure they get round to it sometime between now and Wednesday. They're tired. I respect Kensington and Chelsea. It's all good.
The greasy streets have to be washed down. Once again, fat is the problem.
It's absolutely essential now that we degrease it and then we're going to work it in with the brooms. The degrease is just breaking it up and then shortly we'll flush it down and all of it will be gone.
A concerted effort to flush and brush leaves Mitch on schedule to beat Kensington to the finish.
We're 2.5 hours into the operation now. I'm extremely happy with this. The main roads along the events, on the event site, have all been cleared. We're now in the process of just flushing them out. No one's going to ever know that there was a major event, the biggest carnival in Europe, taking place on this street just a few hours ago.
In a few short hours, the streets have been transformed. It's an amazing achievement.
3 hours and 16 minutes later, I can happily say that we've broken our record by a country mile. This is absolutely amazing.
A triumph for Mitch. Give him a coconut.
Last coconut. And I've got that.
Since filming ended, the Ipswich house has been refurbished and there's a new tenant. The London sewer crisis has been averted, for now, and in Blackpool, Steve and Steve keep up the good work.